Hi, and welcome to another episode of NickAt9Yaps, where I interview founders at the early stage of their entrepreneurial journey to kind of see what is working for them, what they're maybe struggling with, and then just to share their story. This is episode 2. It's actually the first episode that we recorded. The formatting in color is a little off, but the episode came out really great. I speak with Morgan. She is the founder of Rush Power, which is a pre-workout gummy that you take instead of all of that messy powder. So I think it came out awesome. Let me know what you think and enjoy. Well, hello, Morgan.
Hello.
It is great to have you on the podcast. I'll start off with a little icebreaker. So for everyone watching, this is a new setup that we have. We're trying something new. If you're already watching, you already know the introduction. We're going to be interviewing different startups, either student founders, other startups around the Tampa Bay area. So I look forward to get into it. I was going to have more things on the wall. I found this thing at Walmart. It's like a little foam pad. You might have seen it in the back of some podcasts before. So I ordered 12 of them. They were supposed to be a foot by foot long. So I got this in the mail today. And I'm like, well, I hope I didn't get scammed and they're an inch long, but they sent taco seasoning.
Wow. Okay.
So that was kind of funny, but
At least you got some taco seasoning for your tacos now.
yes, we have the painting in there, so at least that's that. Why don't you start off with which is a short introduction about yourself, and then we'll get right into it.
Yeah, of course. My name is Morgan Bierbrunner. I'm a student at USF, and I'm the founder of Rush Power. It is a nutritional supplement company that has developed one of the first US's first official pre-workout gummies. So
cool. And when did you start this journey?
Probably about 4 years ago. It was actually in my dorm, in my undergrad when I went to University of Tampa. We actually started in my dorm sophomore year.
Oh, cool. And then what started your entrepreneurship journey? Like when did you have the moment that you wanted to take classes at the University of Tampa?
Ooh, well, it started in high school. I took an entrepreneurship college class my senior year, and I really enjoyed it. Didn't really understand what entrepreneurship meant going into it. Still didn't really know it at the end either. But I went into college as a pre-vet student, so I was actually going for veterinaries, big in the biology, science, everything. And halfway through, I was like, I hate this. So I thought back to what I really enjoyed in high school, and it was entrepreneurship. So I saw that University of Tampa had a degree in it, and I just went for it.
That's cool. And what have you learned from that experience? Like, what do you use in your day-to-day business from going there?
Yeah, honestly, I think I've probably learned more from my business itself than the actual degree. Obviously, you get the degree to use it, but I think it was also doing it hand in hand really helped me learn a lot more and got more out of it than a lot of the other students. I use more of the professors as resources and the program as a resource rather than the other way around. So it was all to help me grow my company, not so much growing as a scholar, as a student.
That's a good point. All right. So looking back at your time at the University of Tampa, is there anything that you wish that you learned that maybe that wasn't taught there?
A lot. It was a good degree. It was. But they really don't teach you. There's not a step-by-step guide when you go through the classes on how to start a company. I was also a part of their accelerator program. I know it's kind of switched at USF. The accelerator and the incubator are switched around, but I was in the student accelerator, and that helped me a lot more, I want to say, because they actually went through step by step on it, how to set up an LLC, how to file for the IRS, and all that stuff is essential to starting a company that they didn't teach you how to do in class. It was more of it was with the business plans, the financial planning, the pro formas, all of that was quite useful. But yeah, honestly, there's definitely a lot more to learn. Entrepreneurship's hard to encompass into a degree. So the best way to do it is just start your own company. The best way to learn it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I started 9Yaps during the summer. So there was a couple months where school wasn't in session yet. And that was when I was learning everything. I actually made the LLC. I know we were just talking about SBDC. They helped me with that. And yeah, so during the summer, once I started that, I had to make a website. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't have any professors or anyone to talk to at the time. And then once the fall actually came, I found out a lot about those programs that help you start a business and all that. But I was kind of finding myself having trouble. Okay, I know how to start the business. I know I have to have a website, but how do I actually do it? And yeah, I guess just like what you said, you have to actually go out and do it and see what works, see what doesn't, especially like what we're doing with the podcast. And yeah, so I think it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Going on another point, what's like your day-to-day life right now? Like, is it fully for Rush Power? Did you have another job that you're balancing as well?
Yeah, so my life is super, super hectic. I not only run my company, I also work full-time at Burns. It's kind of just like a side gig to get me through college. I'm going to USF for my master's in AI and business analytics. I'm also a competitive powerlifter, so it's like juggling all 4 of those is very, very tough. Ideally, I want my company to be like the end goal. Like, I want to work for my company full-time. It's just a matter of like getting it up and running completely on itself.
Now, what's stopping you right now from just going full-time into the business?
It's more of the sense of practicality. Going full-time into the company, right now we're not at a spot to be able to pay the employees, aka me and my co-founder, wages. So we're not at a spot to do that. So realistically, we wouldn't be able to support ourselves. So that's the only reason why in that sense. But if it was full sustaining, I would be running this company day to day for my everyday job.
Yeah, that's definitely tough. One thing that we do have an advantage is that we're a little bit younger, which definitely helps. Like, I have my aunt and uncle are both entrepreneurs, and one thing that they're finding challenging is balancing a full-time work position. They also do freelance work and then also running the business. So it's definitely been challenging, especially if you're taking classes. So I could definitely see how it's challenging. What's something that you really enjoy about what you do? Like, is there a specific task that's reoccurring that you really enjoy?
Honestly, not a specific task. I think that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, is I don't want to be tied down to one specific thing. Like, I don't want to just go into sales. I don't want to just go into marketing or finance. I want to do all of it. And I think that's the beauty of running your own company, is the fact that you don't have to limit yourself to just one aspect of business. You can do all of it. And even if you want to like change up and make a whole new business, or if you have another business idea, you can do that. And that's what I love about it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So is there something that like you don't enjoy? Like, one thing I find myself doing a lot is a lot of like the website. So like, I don't like doing website. I'm not a tech guy whatsoever. I use like Hostinger, which is just like a drag and drop website builder. So it's very, very basic. So that sometimes does get timely. So is there anything that like something that you wish you could have someone else do?
Yes, honestly, our marketing. I know I talked to you a little bit about that earlier. Marketing has been a pain in the butt. It's just a matter, it's experimenting to see what works, and it can get very frustrating because there's not like a formula. Like in the pro formas and the finances and the forecasting, there's like a formula, it's set. Like in marketing, it's not. It could be like 2 of the exact same videos, and you change the color of someone's shirt and it goes viral. And so it's just like a matter of finding and experimenting with the marketing. I don't mind like content creating. It's a fact of like trying to get the ads up and running. TikTok and Instagram just ban our product every other week. I'm like,
really?
Can you please just let us have 1 month of no banning? It's crazy.
No, can you talk more about that? What do you mean by banning? Is it because like of the type of product, or because it's a consumable? Like,
I think it's because of the type of product. A lot of them, there's a lot of claims you can't make on Instagram and social media, and they switch their policies like every other week. So it's a matter of like me saying this can increase energy to this may help increase energy. And it's like just switching those tiny little words can ban a product or bring it like to go viral. So it's just a matter of figuring that out too.
That definitely seems tough. So besides the Instagram ads, I have seen your ads before. They're really cool.
Thank you.
What other marketing do you do currently?
Yeah, so I mean, we're on Instagram, we're on Meta, TikTok, Google advertisements. So those are all the online aspects. But we're also in person. So we go to local gyms quite often, and we'll just table and hand out samples for people to try. We think we've gotten so much positive feedback from people physically trying our gummies that I think that's the best way to go about it. And I think people just need to try them to understand what it's about, what it is, and why it's good. So I think that's one of the big things we're trying to really harp on. But yeah, those are pretty much our main means of marketing.
I see. And then you're saying that you were having like some challenges with marketing. So are you seeing that you're giving a lot of samples and it's not converting to sales, or is it that like that the Instagram ads don't have the return that you're seeing?
It's mostly through social media that we're not getting the returns we want to see. We put a lot of money into this marketing, and it's just not creating the conversions that we need right now. So it's still a learning process. We're new to this. We just launched, I'm going to say 3 months ago now. So we're in a learning process. So once we get like a good formula or a good set marketing plan down that we know works, I think it'll be really good.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I always find it interesting learning about other types of products or other people's businesses, especially like selling a consumable. I mean, we do all service industry, so it's definitely interesting to learn about that. Have you ever tried reaching out to those gyms and actually selling the product there? What has there been like struggles with that or?
Yeah, so we reached out to, I want to say, like 100 local gyms. Out of them, 20 of them said they could sell it. The only thing with that is you have to be really smart about your decisions you make, because if you ask a gym to sell your product, they're not gonna sell it. They'll put it up on their counter and they'll kind of leave it there. Nobody really knows what it is. So you kind of have to step back and like make a smart decision of, well, I need to go to this gym this many times, hand out this many gummies for people to know what it is. And then we can ask the gyms to start purchasing from us, because then people are like, oh, I've seen this before. I've tried it. I like it. I want it. So I think it's a matter of that. The only other issue we've had with the gyms is a lot of them have non-competes. So a lot of them have their own supplement brands that we can't sell at their gyms. So
interesting. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I always wonder that.
Yeah.
So okay, interesting. And then let's take it back just a little bit. What was like the start of Rush Powder? Like, was it is there like a prototype that was different? Did you have to make some pivots in actually producing the product?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it took forever. It took 4 years for us just to get like our physical product here. So starting off, we tried attempting to make the gummies ourselves in our own dorm room. It was like a mess. Our apartment looked like a meth house. It was crazy. There's literally powders everywhere. It was a mess. We spent probably like a year doing it. I have like a little book that I used to write down all the formulas I would try. It was insane, and I don't ever want to go back to that. And then we were like at the point where we're like, we don't have the expertise to do this. So we went and researched so many different manufacturers, and a lot of them told us no right off the bat. They were like, this is way too complicated. This formula is not gonna, like, it's just way too much. Or they quoted us a super high price. So we researched hundreds of manufacturers until we found the one we did. And even then, we went through a different manufacturer originally starting off and like ended very badly with them, got screwed over completely. Oh, wow. So we had to transition over to a different one, and they were willing to work with us. They were willing to do everything we wanted. So we definitely we've had to pivot quite a lot, I'd say. Absolutely.
So now up to date, do you produce everything yourself, or did you finally find that manufacturer that's able to produce things?
Yeah, we found a manufacturer. They did our R&D for us and produced the gummies. It's in the U.S. They're actually located in Daytona, so all local pretty much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I was reading a little bit about different pitch competitions that you went to. So was that something that helped you get into pitch competitions, like having that manufacturer?
Not so much the manufacturer. I think it was my senior year at University of Tampa, and it was kind of like when you get to your senior year, you're like, oh crap, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't know what to do with my life. And I was like, I want this company to be a real thing. I don't want it just to be a student project. I want it to be successful. And so every opportunity I got, I said yes to. And so that included every pitch competition. And like, I'm pretty new to pitching, honestly. I've only been doing it for like a year and a half. And it was super intimidating at first, crazy intimidating. But then you kind of get up there and you gain your confidence, and you just know, like, I kept saying to myself, like, I know my product better than anyone else here. So whatever they shoot at me, like, I can respond with it confidently. That's pretty good. But yeah, that's what I was just saying yes to everything.
Now you've won 2 pitch competitions, which is really awesome. What's something that you've changed between those pitch competitions?
Honestly, not much. I have the same pitch for every competition.
Oh, really?
The people, like the judges, whether it was at University of Tampa or USF, they've seen me for so many years pitching. They're probably so tired of me. I honestly have pretty much the same pitch every time. The only thing that changes are the numbers as they change throughout time. But yeah, I pretty much have the same thing over and over. I can say it in my sleep at this point.
That's pretty lucky. That's pretty lucky. We've had to change our pitch deck so many times.
Really?
So yeah, I guess like a little backstory for us. We started off as a newsletter. You know, we give deals and discounts by partnering with local businesses, and first we pitched the newsletter, which I thought was great. You know, we'll get because we didn't have an app at the time. Like we'll get a bunch of students subscribed. We'll sell the space to the businesses, and then it's a win-win. But there's a lot of people that like didn't see our vision. They're like, well, how are you gonna make money from that? I'm like, well, we're gonna charge businesses to be on there. So yeah, I've applied I think to like 10, 20 pitch competitions. We've never gotten into any of them. Not even been able to like pitch after that, which is pretty interesting. Looking back at it now, I've learned throughout each one, I've refined the pitch deck, and then once the app came out, it was just about changing those numbers. So I could definitely relate to that. But yeah, no, it is definitely challenging pitching up there. I am definitely a lot better now than it was before, and that shows with our local businesses. But yeah, that's great to hear.
Yeah, pitching is definitely a skill to learn for sure. I don't know if you've heard of a Pitch E-Fest. It was like a big one in Minnesota, and we got flown out there to do it. And one of the most intimidating pitches, it was like a minute. It was an elevator pitch, so only a minute, and it was just you in front of hundreds of people with like a microphone like this, and I was like, oh my goodness. Super intimidating, but it sets you up for everything else, because one day we're going to be on Shark Tank, you could be on Shark Tank, you know, and you need to be ready for that.
That's awesome. Now, do you think you're ready for something like Shark Tank? Would you take any investment to help yourself grow, or are you still trying to figure out what works and then you're growing organically?
Honestly, I would love to be on Shark Tank. It's just a matter of, like I mentioned before, making smart decisions. Shark Tank most of the time looks at companies that already have a certain number of sales. So we have to be wise with our decisions on that. If we were ever to go on Shark Tank, it wouldn't even necessarily be about the money the investors give us. It would just be plainly the publicity. Because even if you look at the companies who didn't even get an investment from the judges, their company skyrocketed. Yeah. So it's mainly just that. But we want to go on it eventually. Just we have to make it a smart decision of when to do it. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like to watch a lot of Shark Tank while I'm making flyers. One of the things we are really active on campus, and it takes a long time to make those flyers. So I actually hand cut every single one, and I'll put Shark Tank in the background. So it definitely helps. Well, one, to entertain yourself, but also to learn from. So yeah, Shark Tank's definitely something that I watch a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now to go back to your marketing, on social media, are you what type of content are you posting? Like, I know you said that you're having struggles with it, but do you think maybe there's something more that you could be doing on social media to kind of grow faster?
I think it's just a matter of us we're so new to this, we don't really know what we're doing, so we're kind of just throwing a ball in the dark. I think that's the biggest thing. We post a lot of organic things. We post a lot of trendy things, but also like we do the paid ads. And the paid ads, there's like a specific way you have to format them and all of this stuff to grab attention, to get people to stay on your video. And I think that's a learning process that we're kind of struggling with a bit for that one. I think most of our organic videos are pretty good. I like doing the trendy stuff. Obviously, it's more fun. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is like the paid ads itself, creating them, editing them, because we're not professional editors either. Yeah. So we're doing it all off of our iPhones. We're doing it like I'm using CapCut to edit the videos. So I'm sure you understand.
Yes. I use iMovie a lot.
iMovie. Oh yeah, bring back the old iMovie.
Yeah, I tried doing CapCut on my phone, but I just find iMovie is so much
maybe I'll have to switch over, because I know CapCut made it when I downloaded the videos, they like changed the entire what was it? Like the format of the video, and it was like a weird length to where like it wouldn't fit onto our TikTok or the Instagram cut it weird. It was really strange, so I might have to switch over to iMovie.
I think it's a problem, maybe something that we're doing wrong, but I think also those big companies too, sometimes the formatting, it doesn't go on. Like I'll make a video and then it'll go on TikTok and Instagram. I'm like, well, the likes cover the words at the end of it, and then I have a larger phone, so it's like on a smaller phone, it's even more. It's even more cramped. So
and like these social medias are so good at like, isolating themselves. Like CapCut specifically works with TikTok, so the videos that I make in CapCut won't fit Instagram properly. So it's like I like don't want to edit them on separate apps because editing already, as you may know, takes hours.
Yes.
So I'm like, so I might try iMovie.
Well, something I wanted to share. Have you ever tried going into relatable content? Something that's been working a lot for us is that we'll find like a trend more, I guess like a trend like you were mentioning, something more specifically about relatable content, and that's been doing really well for us. Like we don't spend any money on ads. I've tried it before, and I even tell the local businesses that I mentor, I don't recommend spending anything on like Facebook ads or Instagram ads or anything. We do really good with just the relatable content. So like I wonder if maybe if you put that type of spin onto your product, if that would like work for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely right now we're seeing some better views on Instagram. We were advised kind of not to put any money into TikTok because the barriers of entry are so high. So Instagram and Meta are definitely easier to get into. But we're being very conservative on what we're spending on the Meta and all the social medias just to see what works, because we're not going to put in a bunch of money to something that doesn't work.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense. Cool. Okay, so I had a question written down here. Do you think the fitness industry talks enough about mental health or just aesthetics?
I think it kind of depends. I think it does both, but there's different types of fitness. So I think obviously if you go more into the bodybuilding world, it's very aesthetic, but fitness all together, that's kind of like our logo of our company is fitness. If you ask anybody why they started their fitness journey, a lot of it's like, oh, I wanted to gain muscle, I wanted to lose weight, but it goes a lot deeper than that. So our slogan is Conquer the Storm, which essentially means that it has starting your fitness journey has a big mental aspect into it that a lot of people don't really notice or recognize. So we are just putting it out there and letting people know that like, it's okay to like say, fitness saved me, or like fitness helped with my anxiety or my depression or stuff like that, because underlying issues, like it's not just you want to gain muscle, it's not just you want to lose weight. A lot of the times it's like I was bullied in high school for being fat, so I started going to the gym or something like that along those lines. So that's why we really grew this company to what it was. Like I was literally in the car driving home one day and this idea popped in my head. I was like, we have to rebrand the whole thing, because I was like, this is like, that's why I started, because I had a really rough experience in time in high school, and once I got out of high school I was like, I want to empower myself, I want to like take back my life, and that's why I got into fitness.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, one thing I thought about when I saw that question is that like for fitness, for me, I mean, I go to the gym regularly. I mean, I don't got big muscles or anything like that yet, but one thing I like is waking up in the morning like really early, getting a good workout, and you know that really kind of gets my day going, and I think that helps a lot through my entrepreneur journey. You know, like I was I was working on the business, and then like not going to the gym, you know, getting right out of bed and going right to the desk. But what I really find that helps is actually waking up, going to the gym, and you know not just for like the like how you look, but just how you feel mentally. So I feel like that it's a tool a lot of entrepreneurs might not use that they could definitely utilize.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And working out is a huge stress reliever. Like I say, it's my therapy. Honestly, I would say it's a lot cheaper than therapy. I mean, I'm all for therapy, but it's a great way to get out your emotions, you know. And if you're having a stressful day, go to the gym, just lift some weights, throw something around. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I wanted to go to the gym after trying to set up this podcast.
Yeah, go for it.
It was very interesting to figure out.
Yeah.
But okay, what's something that you would tell student entrepreneurs not to do, like to stop doing?
Ooh, that one's tough. A lot of it's like telling them what to do, what not to do. Just don't give up, because what sets us apart from a lot of the other student entrepreneurs is they kind of view it as like a student project. They don't view it as like a company that you could get out of school and run completely on your own. Like they don't really view it like that. And a lot of people, it takes a certain person to be an entrepreneur. It really does. So just don't give up, because we have like hit so many walls over and over and over again, and what makes us stand out from everyone else is the fact that we've persevered through. We really like, eventually your motivation will run out and you're running straight on discipline. Like we got to the point where we're like, we can't give up now because so many people know about this. Like we can't, even if we wanted to. So I think that's the biggest thing is just I know there's going to be so many obstacles and it's going to be a lot harder than everyone says. I know everyone says entrepreneurship is hard. It's going to be 10 times harder. Just don't give up. Keep going. Don't listen to what people are saying in regards to, oh, it won't work. Like, you have to think about where the source is coming from and think, like, I love criticism, but it's got to come with, like, some pointers.
Yeah.
If people are just telling me, like, this isn't going to work, I just kind of shove it in the back of my head. I'm like, I don't care what you say, because unless you're going to help me in some way and tell me why it's not going to work, or like some problems I can address, then you're just negative, you know?
Yep.
So don't always listen to all the negative things, and don't give up.
Yeah, I've definitely been in that position before. I think the more people that know about what you're doing, I think that's a sense of motivation as well. Now,
for sure.
Now, you mentioned other student entrepreneurs, or even entrepreneurs in general, shouldn't give up. Is there a certain like situation that you're like, oh, like I really want to give up, but then you didn't?
Oh yeah, so many times. Now, like, I don't think you ever really stop feeling that way, which is crazy. But like, as an entrepreneur, there's always something that, like, sometimes you just think like, wow, I wish I could just live a life, go to a 9-to-5 and be done, you know? Like, as an entrepreneur, you work past a 9-to-5. You literally work like 24/7. Like, I'm answering emails at like 12 at night. It's insane. But yeah.
Interesting. All right, here's another question. What belief did you have early on that you no longer believe?
Oh, that one's hard. I don't know. I think a lot of the things I believed early on, I still believe now, and I think that's what made me get so far. Like, I always believe if I would just worked hard enough, that something would work. Yeah. And I still think of that now. I think of it in a different perspective, though, because you can't drain yourself. Because working very hard, you have to be careful as an entrepreneur. The people who tend to be entrepreneurs tend to overwhelm themselves. Like, I don't know about you, I'm sure you experience this as well, but if I feel guilty for like taking a day off, like I genuinely, like, I have to be doing something for the company, otherwise I'm like, it's gonna fail. So in a sense, I still think that if you work hard, it's gonna work, but you also have, like, now it's kind of shifted as in, like, you can't drain yourself to where you're in a negative mind space going into it. So that perspective changed, but I still feel pretty much the same way as most of my ideals at the beginning.
That's pretty good. Yeah, finding that balance is hard, because you could work 16 hours a day,
right? You
know, and then someone says, oh, well, you know, you could spend, 4 hours with your friends, and then, you're still working 12 hours, but then it's like, okay, that's great, but then how many days a week do I do that? Right. If I'm taking 4 hours off for 3 days of the week, then, there's 12 hours right there. So how do you find that balance?
I'm still finding it. Honestly, my partner's probably better at it. She always tells me just to stop sometimes. Like, I think it's a good thing to have partners who are good in different aspects. If you have a partner that's doing as good in the same things as you are, I think it's very difficult. But my partner really kind of holds me. She's like, you just need to take a break. She does more of the marketing things. I do more of like the everyday logistics, just the finance stuff. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I will drain myself, so she needs to tell me to stop. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have someone like that on your team. How did you meet your co-founder?
We were friends back in high school. We were friends back in college, and we lived in the same dorm, so we were roommates. And we thought of this idea on our living room couch, and then we just kind of went from there.
Wow, that's pretty good. And how long have you guys been working together on the project or on your business?
Yeah, we've been working on it for 4 years together. So from the very beginning, yeah.
That's cool. Has there been a situation where there's like a small decision that you made that made a big impact later on? Ooh. I can give an example of mine, for instance.
Yeah.
So I was doing my flyers. I'm always mentioning flyers for some reason, but I was at the printing center, and there was this booth, and it was like the IEEE, I think, student organization at USF. So the engineering student organization, and I needed an app developer at the time. So I was making my flyers. I was about to leave, and then I saw the booth. I'm like, I I could go up and talk to them, see if they know any app developers. And then I did, I pushed myself. I'm like, I'm going to go do it. The worst comes to worst, they don't know anybody. And then one thing led to another. That's actually how I met the current app developer that we have right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely a lot of different situations that you just have to like take the opportunity no matter what. So,
yeah.
So that little decision of turning around made a huge impact in the end. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, kind of everything. Like, I think the biggest thing, like I mentioned before, is say yes to every opportunity you can. I think the biggest thing was saying yes to, they have a hustle program at USF. It was a pitch competition. And at the time, I was new to USF. This is right when I started going there. I followed the NALT Center on Instagram, and they like posted a little Instagram story of like all the pitch competitions. And I went through every single one of them and signed up for everyone. So I think it's just, pitching is probably the most useful thing that we've done, because we were able to raise, I want to say like $45,000 in non-diluted funding just from like family, friends, and pitching.
That's awesome.
So that was probably the biggest decision we made, is saying yes to the hustle pitch competition and getting our investors, because we were searching for investors for years, and there's not many people who invest in consumer products alone, let alone supplements. So it was very hard to find, but we got, just by saying yes to that, it like opened so many doors for us. And we didn't just do it for the money they were going to be investing into it. We thought of it into the future as well with the connections they had. So they have all these connections to different retail stores and all this that like is going to help us in the future. So I think that was probably the biggest decision we made that has impacted us for sure.
That's pretty cool. Do you have any mentors that help you right now? I feel like mentors are like business therapists, like like if like, oh, like I didn't get enough sales this week, or like for us, like, oh, we lost a client, is almost like a breakup. So do you have like a certain amount of mentors, or like a certain mentor that helps with different parts of the business?
So right now our investors almost act as mentors, I want to say, because they also are taking on a role of like, they know going into it we're a student company, so this is like our first time doing it. So they kind of take on a mentor role, but honestly, that's the one thing I've been really wanting is a good mentor, and we've not been able to find one.
That's
like, I mean, I haven't put myself out there as much as I should have, just because I'm prioritizing other things ahead of it. But I would like to find a good mentor. That is like a huge thing for us. We've had people along the way kind of help us out, but never in a sense of like I would go back to them because they were so useful. Like it was like, yeah, I think they were just not the right fit for us. So finding a mentor would be amazing. It's just a matter of like finding the time to reach out to people, and finding someone who understands our product is a huge thing, because pre-workout's such a new industry, and usually the mentors are more experienced people in life. So they're a little bit older and they don't understand the concept.
That makes sense.
So I think that's the biggest thing for us, is finding someone who understands what it is and can relate to it. Yeah, so we haven't found one yet. I would love to find one eventually, but...
Well, I definitely recommend Score. If I haven't already mentioned it to other people, Score is a free platform, or it's a free website you go on, and you can request a mentor in your area, or even from like across the country, and they'll help you with like whatever you're having trouble with, like whatever it's marketing or finding funding. But I definitely recommend checking that out. That you could probably get paired with someone within 24 hours. I think well I know when I was looking for a mentor on there, it was like 3 a.m, and like I think the problem was we didn't have an app, and I needed an app, and because there's other people that do have student discount apps out there. So yeah, at 3 a.m, I applied on there. I said exactly what I was having troubles with. I think the next morning I got paired with someone, and and I'm still in contact with him now. We've met like a couple times in person. We were meeting on the phone a lot. Now that I'm a little bit more on my way, we don't meet as much, but it's definitely a great resource. I recommend
Yeah, I'll
checking
definitely
out.
have to look it up, because I would love to have a mentor just to like even rant about things.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly. It's like a therapist. That's pretty good. Well, I definitely recommend checking that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, another question here. Now, did anyone early on in your journey tell you that your idea wouldn't work, and then how did you deal with that?
A lot of people told us that. Honestly, like there is like a lot of people when we first started just saying like, I don't understand the concept, this isn't going to work. And I just had like, a lot of it was in the pitch competitions, I want to say. And they were judges. Of course, most of the judges in pitch competitions, like I mentioned, are in the older generation because they're experienced, they've run companies before, so they didn't grasp the whole concept of our product. And I had to just think to myself, like, this is not our demographic. This is not the person we're selling to, so why does it matter? Because we would pitch and get all this not all negative feedback. Like, I'm fine with constructive criticism. I love it. Like, tell me what I'm doing wrong and tell me how to fix it. That's what I want to hear. But you have to kind of separate that from just like negativity. And when we've had a lot of people just come up and like, it's not going to work. And I was like, okay. And I just went along my day. But, I combated that with just thinking in my head, I'm like, these are not the people we're selling to, so it doesn't really matter what they think. And that got backed up by the fact that after most of our pitch competitions, we still to this day have students coming up to us like, this is amazing, I want it. And I'm like, this is exactly who we need to be selling to. That's awesome. Like, I was tabling at Crunch the other day, just handing out free samples, and I had a student who remembered me from the Entrepreneurship Center at University of Tampa, and he came up, he's like, I just want to help. I love this. And I was like, sure. And so now he's like helping us out table, he's helping us out marketing. Yeah. And it's just like, it's the younger generation that really gets it and they understand. And that's how I kind of combated that. But yeah, plenty of people told us it wasn't going to work. Yeah,
I think that's a beautiful part of the journey. There's like a lot of people that come up to me, they'll DM me on LinkedIn, and they just say how much they love what you do, and that they just want to help and all that. So I think that's definitely a really good motivational part.
Yeah, absolutely. You just have to distinguish between like good criticism and just negativity. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think the best way to like kind of filter that out is like, is this my demographic? Or are they providing feedback like from what they're saying? So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
That's exactly what I do.
That's pretty cool. One thing I also want to ask, who did your packaging? Is that something that you did? I think it's very nice. It gets right to the point.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we designed all of our packaging. We had a manufacturer in China make it, but we designed everything. Yeah, we are trying to keep costs as low as we possibly could. So we've pretty much, from everything from our website to our packaging to our finances, we've done all on our own. Wow. So yeah, I mean, now we're definitely getting our website revamped so that we won't be doing. But yeah, we've done everything on our own. As you may know, being a student entrepreneur, you don't get much money.
Yes, definitely not.
So money's tight, for sure. So you have to learn to be the website developer. You have to learn to be the salesman and the marketer. So we've done it all. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think that's probably that's all the questions I had. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I think that was pretty much it.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for coming on here. This is the first episode, so I am very interested. Maybe I'm not interested in seeing how it came out, but thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I loved it. Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So what'd you think? I think that came out amazing. Thank you again, Morgan, for hopping on. If you want to learn more about her product, that's going to be linked in either the description or the comments. And we're actually outside today because I am trying to get this done before my meetings today. It's going to be a very, very busy day, very busy as an entrepreneur, but we're here to keep it authentic, as least edits as possible, and just to share our journeys. Subscribe if you want to learn more, if you want to hear from some more people, and if you have any suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments. Have a wonderful rest of your day.